Hello and welcome again, everyone. So, today we are going to learn about JavaScript. To make website interactive, we use JavaScript and we will see how it works with HTML and CSS. Before I start, this is going to be the last module of this is going to be the last lecture of module 1, and then we will move forward with the next modules. So, moving on, introduction to JavaScript. JavaScript is a full-fledged programming language that brings interactivity to web pages, while HTML provides the structure and CSS handles the styling. JavaScript enables the page to respond dynamically to user actions, for example, clicks, buttons, form submissions, or mouse movements. This allows web pages to change contents, trigger animations, or update elements in real time, creating a more engaging and interactive user experience. So, a little bit of history. JavaScript was created by Brendan H. at Netscape in 1995 to bring dynamic functionality to web pages. Surprisingly, it was developed in just 10 days and went through several names. Mocha, then LiveScript, and finally JavaScript, mainly for marketing reasons since Java was popular at the time, even though the two languages are unrelated. In 1996, Netscape submitted JavaScript to ECMA International, resulting in the ECMAScript standard, which became the foundation for interactive programming language in modern browsers. Over the years, different browsers implemented their versions. For example, Microsoft's JScript and Google's V8 engine, but all follow the ECMAScript standard to maintain the consistency. Now, JavaScript with HTML and CSS. So, HTML provides the basic structure of a web page with elements like headings, paragraphs, buttons, and forms, while CSS controls the visual styling, and JavaScript works alongside them by interacting with HTML elements through the document object model to dynamically update or manipulate the content. It can also modify CS properties in real time, allowing elements to change color, size, or position in response to users' action, creating a more interactive experience. In JavaScript, variables are used to store data and they can be declared using keywords like var, let, or const. Functions allow developers to define reusable blocks of code that perform specific tasks, often triggered by events such as clicking a button. Event handlers serve as the link between user action and the corresponding functions. DOM manipulation lets JavaScript access and modify the structure and content of the HTML document in real time. So it makes it possible to dynamically update layouts, texts, and elements based on user interaction or conditions. So to create a basic JavaScript program, we start with an HTML page that initially displays the text. To see the traditional first program greetings, click below, along with a button labeled Click Me. When the user clicks the button, the text changes to Hello World. We achieve this by writing a small JavaScript function inside the uh, script tag in our HTML code. The function runs when the button is clicked, replacing the original text with the greeting. For now, we focus only on the functionality without adding any CSS or styling here. So this example shows how simple JavaScript function can update web page content dynamically. At first, the page displays a message. The JavaScript function display hello runs when the button is clicked, finds the message, eliminating using its ID, and replace its content with hello world. On the right, you can see the web page before and after clicking the button, demonstrating how JavaScript can change HTML content in real time. A function in JavaScript works much like a mathematical function. It can take input values called arguments, perform specific tasks or calculation, and optionally return a result. To call a function, we use the syntax function name that pass arguments. A function is defined using the function keyword followed by the function name and a list of parameters enclosed in parentheses. For better organization and maintainability, function definitions are usually placed inside a script tag with the web page's head section or stored in an external JavaScript file linked to the page. So in the previous example, we saw the button using the on-click attribute with the value display hello world. This is a JavaScript function call and its syntax follow the standard format. The parentheses after the function name are empty because we are not passing any arguments here. If we needed to pass arguments, we would list them inside the parentheses separated by commas with a space after each comma for clarity. The function itself has two main parts: the heading, where we define the function name and parameters, and the body, where we write the instruction that will run when the function is called. So a variable in JavaScript can be thought of as a box that stores a value, such as text or a number. Variables are declared using keywords, for example, var or const, but you cannot use reserved works as variable names since they have special meanings in the Java in the HTML or JavaScript language. JavaScript is a loosely typed or dynamically typed language, so you don't need to specify the variable type. It is determined automatically by the value you assign. So variables can be local, meaning they exist only within a specific function, or global, meaning they are accessible throughout the entire program. So let's look into the variable assignments in the function body. The first statement declares a variable name message. Declaring a variable is like creating a box where we can store a value. The next two lines are assignment statements. The assignment operator is equal to that takes the value on the right side and stores it in the variable on the left. In this example, document.get element by ID passes the argument message. It assigned to message, so the variable now holds reference to that HTML element. Then we assign the text in the header, hello world, to message outer HTML, which changes the content of the element on the web page. This example shows how a simple button is created using the input tag. The type is button. Attribute specifies that it's a clickable button. The value attribute sets the text label on the button, and the on-click attribute connects the button to a JavaScript event handler function. Even though we often think the buttons as just clickable elements, they are indeed a form of user input since the user is choosing to trigger an action. Later, we will look at other input elements like text boxes and checkboxes that also use the input tag. So in JavaScript, an object is a software entity that represents something tangible and it can be manipulated with code. When a browser loads a web page, it automatically creates object for all elements, for example, the head, body, and heading tags, and organizes them into structure called the document object model or DOM. The document object represents the entire web page and provides methods like get elements by ID to retrieve or modify specific elements. These object-based structures allow JavaScript to interact dynamically with the web page content. So the document object model or DOM represents all parts of a web page as nodes in a node tree. It's much like a directory tree structure. Each node in this tree can be one of three things, either an element, a text item, or an attribute. So this structure allows JavaScript to easily locate and manipulate any part of a web page by navigating through the tree. So this is an example of a node tree. This diagram shows the DOM node tree for a web page. At the top is the root node called document, representing the entire page. Below this, each HTML element like head, body, or each heading tree becomes a node in the tree. The blue boxes represent element nodes. The yellow boxes show text nodes containing the text inside tags. And the green boxes represent attributes like the ID of an element. This hierarchical structure allows JavaScript to easily locate and modify any part of the web page. Forms are used to group input controls like button, text fields, and checkboxes on a web page. We have two main types of processing, client side and server side. In client side processing, JavaScript handles the form input directly on the user's computer, making it faster since there is no need to send data on a server. And then server side processing, on the other hand, is better for large amounts of data, complex calculation, or when security and data sharing are involved, because the form data is sent to the server, processed there, and then the results are returned to the user. So when deciding between client side and server side processing, the size and complexity of the data are key factors. In this example, a company needs to manage a large amount of employee data involving complex calculation. So server side processing is the right choice here because the data is too big and sensitive to handle on the client's computer. Instead, the data is sent to the server for processing and the results are securely returned to the user. So this is the end of module 1, and everything in module 1, for example, the Zybook activities, the posted quiz, and the discussion boards will be due on September 5 for these modules. For this module, you don't have any assignments, and I look forward to see you for the next module. Thank you all.